All right, so now that the black and brown coalition is finally dead, right? Now that that's out of the way, it is time for us to really have a discussion about our political strategy. My name is Ghetto Freeman, your humble cave supremacy elucidator, helping black America better understand cave supremacy. So there's three main points, right? At which point do our needs supersede desires of all the other people of the Democrat Party? And at which point is what we need the main point of a black political candidate's campaign? The Migos have come to out-politic us, and we need to talk about how we let that happen. And this whole idea of black and brown taking over the Democrat Party. And last but not least, at which point do we acknowledge the fact that where we are politically is a side effect of us doing bad business politically? All right, so last video I was talking about how I took a lot out of the Jasmine Crockett-Tallarico election, right? And basically, just real quick, if Jasmine Crockett could get into the race 3 months late and still pull out upwards of 1 million votes, that should tell you a lot, especially looking at the majority of those votes came from ADOS voters. And then so when we look at the fact that most of her votes came from ADOS voters and she was still able to get upwards of 1 million votes, and we look at the whole dynamic of the election itself, do y'all really think that Tallarico and just that whole thing, that turnout, do y'all really think that that would have been the case to the extent of which, is not to say that Tallarico wouldn't have won still, but that turnout would not have been as electric and as much of a presentation as it was had Jasmine Crockett not been in the race, right? So she got in late, said some shit that motherfuckers didn't like, and she was still able to pull upwards of 1 million votes. The record turnout, that would not have been the case had Jasmine Crockett not been running, right? Given how she's positioned herself lately within the political space. And so we're getting a lot of rhetoric talking about how Tallarico was on the ground and, you know, not only got in at the proper time, he was, you know, doing the grassroots and talking to people, going to churches and, you know, showing up and campaigning and speaking on what's important to certain communities. But he didn't bring that energy to ADOS communities. But neither did Jasmine Crockett, to be fair. Did she get plenty of black voter turnout? Yes. But she could have gotten even more turnout from ADOS voters had she been seen or had she been doing things in championing of our desires politically and what we've been saying that we want.
If Jasmine Crockett focused on black Americans the last 3 years and actually put points on the board, we wouldn't even be having this conversation because the majority of blacks that ignore the election altogether would have been engaged.
Most black people view Jasmine Crockett as an ADOS politician who mostly caters to the needs of the Latino community. And so yes, there was record turnout, but just a few more Negroes across the whole state of Texas would have pushed her to win, right? And then we would have been able to see that we can win just off of ADOS votes. But in order to get ADOS votes, especially where we are at this point politically, you have to actually speak to ADOS needs and desires. Jasmine Crockett does not do that. Matter of fact, most Democratic politicians have not done that and do not do that. Even if they have ever campaigned to our needs, they never fulfilled, right?
Growing up, I heard so many Latinos, so many Mexican people basically saying that the Democratic Party has let them down way too many times. Because the reality is, politicians see Latinos as decorations, and the only time they bring us out is during election time.
But how long now, by and large, have niggas been voting Democrat? Okay, right? So we've never actually leveraged our vote. Now, peep this.
Thing that I thought was very interesting that James Tallarico said, mind you, I'm not from Texas, but I did hear this from him. You need to treat the Latino vote like a swing state.
Why the fuck do they know how to play this game politically better than we do? You need to treat the Latino vote as a swing state vote? And they're actually being catered to in said manner. When was the last time politicians catered to the ADOS communities? So not only do they have the numbers, but they understand how you're supposed to move and leverage your vote.
You either have to be, when a party is not aligned with you, you have to be either willing to walk or vote another party. If you cannot do either of those things, as a group with no money, as a wealthless group, you are in trouble. And we are in trouble.
So with that being the case, and given the numbers, and given this whole idea of black and brown coalition, and black people will lead the Democrat Party, and the Latinos will, follow behind us, why the fuck would they do that? They have all the leverage. They have all of the leverage, and at which point do they say, we're good because your end goal has nothing to do with us, right? And we wouldn't be able to even fault them for that. So not only have we not been doing the politics that we need to do, we've allowed another group to come in and overtake the political party that's gotten us the favor that we've gotten so far. But we've been in a one-sided coalition for the last, 20, 30 fucking years?
The party is no longer in alignment. And if the party is no longer in alignment, you have to figure out a third way. The problem is we refuse to figure out a third way. That's just the problem. We don't want to defect. And we're not going to vote for a different party. You can't even get most Negroes to vote for a third party. You know we all had down ballot, which was a way of defecting. You can't even get Negroes to do that. The funniest thing is that a lot of the Negroes who said they were not going to do that are the same Negroes who are now saying, I'm not voting because of the way they treated Jasmine Crockett. Now, hold on. When we said, hey, this whole party is out of alignment with us, when we said that, everybody said, oh my God, I can't believe what's going on. You all ought to be ashamed. This is voter suppression. But now, because of one candidate who you feel was treated badly, this is not a policy disagreement. You have one candidate who you feel was treated badly by other Democrats, by the left, whatever the case may be. Because of that, you have people saying that they're not going to show up. All of a sudden, it seems like we're okay with weaponizing the vote.
You don't ever hear or see no Latinos come out and be like, oh, don't leverage, don't weaponize your vote. Just keep voting blue no matter who. Keep voting the same, even though they playing us like it's a game. You see what I'm saying? They ain't no Latino ever came out to their people and said, I know us voting in this specific pattern has not worked for the last 60 fucking years, but let's keep continuing to do it because at some point they will give us what we want. And so at some point between all of these different elements, we have to acknowledge that we just have not been doing politics good.
Politics ain't a love story for us. It never has been. It's a business deal, a negotiation. And we have to win each negotiation because when we lose, we don't have safety nets.
If politics is just like business and negotiations are a necessary part of business, then we have to acknowledge and accept the fact that we just have not been doing good fucking business. And the Latinos have been doing better political business and negotiations than us. We can't have a coalition with people who have been here less time than us, here off of the back of our legislation, but somehow have gained more political favor than us. We ain't no fucking coalition with them. There's no reason for them to. They have more leverage than us. And two, y'all trying to coalesce with a community that y'all don't even understand the nuances of. Most niggas don't even understand the nuances of other niggas, let alone Latinos. Y'all don't understand the nuances of the Latino community. As someone who, by osmosis, by proximity, is half Latino by culture, I know that y'all don't understand the Latino community in the sense of trying to have a coalition, because y'all don't even understand the differences between, y'all don't even understand why they're, trying to assimilate into black. Y'all don't even understand that Latinos are the next ones up to become white, right? And then let alone the nuances between the Latino community and the Afro-Latino community. Between our politicians knowing that they don't have to prioritize a campaign that centers our needs and wants politically, and given that the people that we've been trying to coalesce with are now in a position where it is being seen how they are playing politics better than us, if we don't acknowledge that we've been playing this game very poorly, we are going to continue to play this game very poorly and keep getting the same results, and it's only going to get fucking worse as this country moves further in quality. And so if our deal without a deal is conservatism and racism, and our deal with a deal is symbolism with no substance, I'm gonna let y'all figure that one out, right? Because we already know one devil. And if you're gonna tell me to that we just need to keep taking more incrementalism, we need to keep taking what we can get because they're the only ones who's gonna do anything for us. So how are we gonna get to Z if we can't even get to T? It's been 60 plus fucking years since integration. Why are we still having this incrementalism talk? Why are we still just going off of what they are willing to give us to not piss the caves off? Oh, they can't campaign and they can't tell you that they're gonna give you reparations because that's gonna make the caves mad. I don't give a fuck, and you shouldn't either. That shouldn't be the rhetoric that we say amongst each other in order is to justify accepting incrementalism, symbolism, and bootstrapperism. Really, y'all get offended at bootstrapperism rhetoric, but then when niggas be like, oh, I'm tired of the Democrat Party because all they do is give us motherfucking symbolism, then you'll be like, well, you just gotta take it because before you wasn't gonna get shit, and at least they give you symbolism and the idea that you'll get shit, and then maybe at some point we'll get shit. But we don't negotiate. How many? Joe Biden, perfect example. Jim Crow motherfucking Joe. Okay, they were able to do so much stuff that inadvertently helped the black community. Okay, why is a serious HR 40, fuck it, not even, just for the sake of the argument, not even full-blown reparations at the moment, right? But why is a more serious HR 40, why is that just, oh my God, we can't do that because then that's gonna make the caves mad, and then you can't expect them to campaign and to market that because then that's gonna make the caves mad, and then they're not gonna man, fuck them motherfuckers. And why is that still why is that the defense, the justification, the rhetoric? Why still?
You know how many politicians promised us some way to get citizenship? Do you know the last 26 years? Do you know what actually has come out from those promises? DACA. DACA and DACA only.
These motherfuckers over here talking about DACA wasn't enough for them. I don't remember them going through motherfucking chattel slavery. I don't remember none of that. I don't remember Jim Crow for the Migos. I don't remember that. But yet still they can come here, and with what they do get, if they feel like it's not enough, they're going to voice it, right? They've been voting for the Democrat Party by and large since they've, been coming here in numbers like that. And they don't feel like they've gotten much for it. And so they're now in the position where they're wanting to leverage their votes. There's nothing wrong with that. Why the fuck haven't you done that? Why is it that every time when you have an ADOS organization or just anybody coming out not talking about voting for the fucking conservatives, we're not doing that. We know conservatism doesn't help niggas. They don't help nobody, especially not niggas.
Now, when I say, hey, we have to do this in a coordinated way, join ados.com, become a member of a chapter. But you'll see,
And so we're not talking about going to conservatism, but why is it that every time black people, when we talk about leveraging our vote, you get these niggas coming out here talking about some, oh, you can't do that, and we just gotta vote, we just gotta, and because eventually we can negotiate. You niggas don't know how to negotiate politically. I know you don't, because you continue to vote for the same party that's not giving you shit. I know you niggas don't know what you're talking about politically. I know you don't. For the majority of the people voting, you motherfuckers is not or defending the idea that we just need to keep fucking voting for the Democrat Party, get them in there, and then we'll talk them into being more progressive, or we'll hold them accountable. Motherfuckers didn't even hold Obeezy accountable. Talking about some Al Sharpton, talking about some we'll hold them accountable in the second term. For what? That's how you see what I'm saying? And then another 5 years will go by and we won't get reparations. We'll get like we'll get the Crown Act. And then when some shit happens, you see what I'm saying? Some shit that fucks up everybody. Then it's like, oh my God, how did it get this bad? How did it get this far? When we still in the same situation, when we're still experiencing the same fucking racial wealth gap. Oh my God, how the fuck did this? How did they get this? How did this happen? You niggas that don't want to be a monolith, how the fuck do you think we're gonna get reparations? Do you think that the Latinos are saying that as they're deciding to leverage their votes, that they're not gonna be a fucking monolith? You think that's how they got DACA? You think that's how they got DACA, huh? Because they decided to not be a monolith? That's how you think they got DACA? Oh, okay. No, I got it. You think that the solution is to vote for a politician who claims to be a Democrat just because they're a Democrat on paper, that makes them an actual fucking progressive. If the consensus is that we've been doing bad business deals politically, then continuing to vote for people and to advocate for people who don't even fucking campaign your main message and needs, they don't even censor that in their campaign, how the fuck is that doing better business?
The problem with folks like that is they never consider they ran a poor campaign and failed to garner support because of their own campaign and their own actions.
Going forward, something has to change. We have to mandate, we have to be willing to leverage our vote and mandate and hold these politicians accountable. No, you niggas don't want to hold politicians accountable because they're black. Oh, Jasmine Crockett didn't take money from AIPAC, but she sure as fuck went to Is Not Real on that motherfucking trip. And she takes money from some motherfucking Is Not Real Zionist organization. They don't have, just because it's not AIPAC. You niggas ain't never heard of J Money or J Street? Fuck is y'all talking about? Oh my God, it's not AIPAC, so she can't be taking Is Not Real money. Did y'all forget about the fucking trip to Is Not Real? I didn't. Y'all know good and goddamn well that there's more than one fucking Is Not Real fucking Zionist goddamn lobbying organization. What the fuck are we talking about here? Y'all niggas piss me off. Y'all niggas really piss me off with that shit. Oh my God, she's so sassy. Oh my God, she's so sassy and we love her because she talks against Trump. Oh my God, cool, great. But when it comes to reforming the conservative policies that are in the state, oh no, she ain't gotta do that. She can just fucking advocate for migrants. For migrant protections and shit like that.
She went to the Texas Dilley Center where there were children being held to investigate what was happening. And what did she do after? No bill, no change in Congress, no nothing. Just telling reporters that she does not support this and it's wrong. It's very AOC, it's very Bernie.
She don't have to center ADOS needs in her fucking campaign, but she better get most of the black vote, if not all of it. The other minority groups better get behind her, or it's fucking racism, which that's partly true. But in the sense of the cave women actually came out harder for Jasmine Crockett than the Latinos. But we always sitting up here talking about some black and brown coalition. right? And it's you niggas that claim to be the smart niggas, the politically savvy niggas that have led our people astray into thinking that we in a motherfucking coalition that's one-sided as hell. What? But niggas like me are the problem, who tell you that, who've been telling you that we ain't in no motherfucking coalition, as somebody who grew up in the fucking environment. The fuck? I'm an Afro-Latino by virtue. So I know. I know how racist these motherfuckers are. I know that they not with us. I know how bad they want to assimilate into whiteness. Firsthand, nigga. I seen it. I seen it. Firsthand. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I kind of turned up a little bit. It's your motherfucking mans, Ghetto Freeman, Cave Supremacy Elucidator. Stay young, stay pro-black. Peace.